Alright, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what time you're viewing this. This is the next series in our Intro to Excel, Intro to Spreadsheets. We're going to build upon some of the skills that we've already looked at. In this particular video, we're going to be looking at worksheet structure and going through some various clipboard tasks that we can execute in Microsoft Excel. So some of the key areas that we're going to be looking at in this video is managing our columns and rows. This is going to include the insertion, the deletion, the hiding and unhiding of columns and rows, as well as going through and adjusting column width and row height. These particular tasks and structure changes may be necessary to include some additional data that previously wasn't there, to go ahead and remove data that's not necessarily relevant anymore, as well as just providing the ability to kind of pull out or hide or unhide columns as required based on visibility reasons or any kind of restrictions that may be there. And the second piece we're going to be looking at is selecting, moving, copying, and pasting data within the Excel spreadsheet, looking at selecting how to select a range, how to move a range, how to copy and paste a range, and using the various paste options and paste special functionalities within Microsoft Excel. And then the last piece we're going to be looking at is just copying Excel data into other programs. So we'll move over to our Excel spreadsheet. And again, this spreadsheet should look familiar from our previous videos. We're going to again build upon that. So the first thing that we're going to look at is inserting cells, columns, and rows. So the easiest way to insert a cell or a column or a row is to go ahead and select a column. We're going to go ahead up here into the Insert Cells. We're going to click Insert, and we're going to click Insert Columns, and it's going to insert a column prior to or before column we had selected. So again, this allows us to put additional information in here between the month of commission and the date of closing sales columns. Conversely, if you wanted to remove, click Delete Columns, and it removes the newly created column and shifts all columns back over to the left one column to replace the one that we deleted. Same thing with the rows. When we click here in our January row, we click Insert, and we select Row. It creates one before our selected Excel spreadsheet row, and then again we highlight a cell and click Delete Row. Again, it removes it and shifts the column back. Another shortcut you can use is by selecting the row and right-clicking on that row. You can click Insert, and again, to remove it, click Delete. And again, it executes the same functionality as using the menu items up in the ribbon. And that also works for the columns. Right-click the column, click Insert, right-click the column, click Delete. And it inserts and deletes appropriately. Now the next formatting that I want to cover is the hide and unhide column rows. So in reviewing some of this data, you may need to present it to some individuals and may not want to provide them visibility of everything. So for example, you may not want to display the commission rate. So again, you right-click your column, select the hide feature, and you'll notice that there is a little bit of visibility up here between now column C and column E, where column D was, and that particular field particular row or column, is hidden. When you right-click on that little area again and click the unhide, it now returns that hidden column back to visibility. Same thing for the rows. If you want to go ahead and hide August for whatever reason, you click on the row for August, click hide. It temporarily hides it from view. Go back in and restore it. You click unhide, and again, it's visible. So again, the difference between inserting and deleting as opposed to hiding and unhiding is that once you insert a column, again, it's there until for its use. Difference between hiding and unhiding as opposed to deleting is that if you delete a particular column or a row, it gets removed, and whereas the hide unhide feature allows you to provide visibility or restrict visibility, but still keeping the information within the worksheet. Moving on to some other formatting, I want to talk about adjusting your column width and your row heights. So you'll find as you're working with spreadsheets that you'll have information in there that kind of exceeds the default width of your columns. So in order to make that proper adjustment, what you want to do is up in the column row header, where A, B, C, and all your column indicators are there, you want to put your cursor right on that line separating the two columns. And you'll notice that your cursor will change. It'll have a straight line with two arrows, or it looks like a crosshair with two arrows on the left and right side. You want to click and hold down, and you'll notice that it gives you an actual width calculation in pixels. And you can drag, as you click on it and hold down the mouse button, you can drag that width to give you more visibility of that particular column, so you can see all the information in there. Likewise, you can drag it back if you want to go ahead and shrink that column down to the required size. One other thing I want to show you in terms of a shortcut is once you get that cursor crosshair with the two arrows, if you double click, it will automatically adjust out to the width to include the longest text string or value in that particular field, so that you don't have to guess or pull it back to the right, move it back to the left. You can just double click it and it will automatically adjust it so you can see everything. In terms of column height, again, I'm going to show you what we can do here with the column height. We're going to shrink this down a little bit because that commission rate is just a little much in terms of the information there. So what you have in terms of adjusting your row height is, again, it's very similar to the width adjustment. However, when you put the crosshair, when you put your cursor on the line in between your two rows, the crosshair now has the arrows on the top and bottom. So again, you can drag that down to get your row to a specific height that you want. If you want more space for readability purposes, for formatting purposes, again, you can adjust this appropriately. And again, through double clicking on that border between the two rows, it will then shrink that row size to just the minimal width or height that is required for that particular row. So again, that's just a quick review on adjusting your column widths and your row heights. The next piece I want to focus on is more of selecting, moving, copying, and pasting data. So you may require to copy some information from one spreadsheet to the next. How we do that first is basically by selecting a range. And a range is a group of adjacent or contiguous cells in a worksheet. So that would include this information here that I selected. So again, if we're wanting only to focus on and do a look at the first 6 months, again, what we could do is we could select this particular range of information. And again, this would be however you would need to go ahead and copy and paste the data. What matters? So we're going to select the range. We're going to go and click Cut from the. We'll use our shortcut of Control X. So in the clipboard, copy. Clipboard, we're going to copy. Actually, we're going to cut. Okay? And we're going to copy that range. Now, when you go to apply that into, paste that into another set of ranges, you need to make sure that your information, or the range that you're pasting it into, make sure that that destination range is the same size or greater. Otherwise, it will cut off part of your information. So we select an area. We can do a right click, and we can do paste options, and paste special, and do a paste. We can pull down here, cut, and paste, or do our Control V. Now, as again, you'll notice that in my range that I now paste this into, I show a bunch of hashtags here. That's a good indicator that your column width is not as wide as it needs to be to show all data. So again, you would go ahead and expand out your column width accordingly. Again, and if you want to undo that cut and paste, your Control Z shortcut will revert the data back to where it was. And again, if you just wanted to copy this information, again, you can come up here into the clipboard, click the copy option, and again, select your range where you want to paste the information. It looks like it's not accepting. So I'm going to do my shortcut, Control C. Make sure again that your range is at least the same size, if not larger. And it will copy and paste that particular information, moving that range into another section of the spreadsheet. And again, you can move this into another workbook. You can move it into another worksheet within the existing workbook. But again, same feature, copying and pasting of the range. One last thing I want to go ahead and show in the video is copying Excel data into other programs. So a lot of times you'll find that you'll need to submit this into another format, another report, put it into another document. So again, you select your range, you click Control C, and what we're going to do is we're going to open up our Microsoft Word program, Office. So we have Microsoft Word, and once this program opens up, you can find that through a Control V, you can paste the information from your Excel spreadsheet into a Word document or another document or program based on compatibility issues. So again, if you have any questions with regard to this particular video or any of the information covered, please email me at ryan.free@ppcc.edu.